Hello, everybody, and welcome to race number 17 of Season 3 NASCAR Walmart Cup Series. I am Levi McIntyre, aka Thrash Maniac 99, the voice of NASCAR Walmart Cup Series, here to welcome you to the Pocono 500 at Pocono Raceway, 2.5 miles at the Tricky Triangle, home of 3 turns and the famous tunnel turn. Last week we saw a first-time winner in Rue McIntyre picking up his first win of his career and of the season. Will we see somebody like that win a race today? Well, watch and find out. As ladies and gentlemen, here's a look at your starting lineup for the Pocono 500.
Imagine the dreams of a 13-year-old looking up at the sky, wondering how the world can be so cold. This kid wasn't sold it would be like this. At nighttime wishes to be safe from this abyss. Cause this shit is something that can be dismissed. A boy born as a girl who is going through the stress. He's got a shotgun up but can't play for the team. His school won't let him even though it's his dream. Now he's sitting in bed with a loaded gun, thinking about blowing his brains out to kingdom come. Cause he's been bullied and teased all his life. Almost killed himself 2 years ago by slitting his wrist with a knife. I wonder if he sees the things I see for him. 10 years down the line, speaking at the forum. A college graduate up at the top of his class. The first trans NFL player up in the draft.
Well, there's a look at your starting lineup. Cassandra Renzi, Eric Enrage in the front row. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys and girls. So Renzi and Enrage, 2 of the 3 Stewart-Haas racing cars starting up in the top 2. But Renzi is now pulling to a nice lead, but now here comes Brandon Nichols. He's going to get second now. As that high line isn't the preferred line, the low line seems to be best. As now Gabe Williams goes to third, and here comes Dylan Thero. And look at that, 3 wide between Jessica Sheldon, P.J. Williams, and Chris Washer. It's still 3 wide, but Sheldon's got out of there. Now Cody Hagan's into that mess. Meanwhile, Brandon Nichols is starting to catch Cassandra Renzi, as Renzi has been starting to somewhat free fall a little bit in the points. She lost her points lead a few weeks ago at the Canadian Tire, and she does lead that lap. And she did manage to catch much ground on the 51 of Ryan Anderson Jr., but she is still up there in that top 5 in points. As long as maybe she stays up there throughout the next several races, she may be good to go for the chase. But remember, it ain't over till it's over. As now Brandon Nichols is trying to get around Renzi, and here he comes down low, and Gabe Williams is right behind the 12. And now here comes Nichols to the bottom underneath Renzi for the lead. As I'm looking for the lights, and we are still clean and green here at Pocono. And Brandon Nichols actually did lead that lap, and now Gabe Williams, he thought about making it 3 wide for the lead, but he backed off and went down to the behind the 12, and now he's coming underneath of Renzi for the second spot. And here comes Dylan Thero into the mix along with Cody Hagan, Sonny Hammond, and Jessica Shelton. As now Nichols is going to get cleared of Renzi, but now that's opening room for Gabe Williams, but he's going to fall back in line behind Brandon Nichols. Meanwhile, back there, we see a battle, I believe, for the 8th position, if I had to say. It is for 8th, between Chris Washer and P.J. Williams. Now, Jesse King is going to try to sneak his way in there, and Sonny Hammond's going to go underneath of Renzi now. I believe that is for the 5th position, or the 4th spot, as Sonny scored in 5th. And now Renzi, she's going to try to go underneath of Dylan Thero, but she couldn't get there quick enough. As at the moment, Brandon Nichols, the young rookie sensation in the 12 car for Penske Racing, has been in the top 10 in points pretty much most of the season. He has won 2 races this season, if I can recall. I can't remember the first race he won. If I had to guess, I would probably say Las Vegas. And then his second win came at Kansas at a very similar racetrack. But this is a 2.5 mile tricky triangle, and he's never been to this track, but he is doing a great job running up at the front. He has led every lap except lap number 1. And that is how it is. But let's take a look and see how the field currently runs at the moment, as we're almost a quarter of the way through the Pocono 500. It is Brandon Nichols, the leader. Second is Gabe Williams. Third is Cassandra Renzi. Fourth is Dylan Thero. Fifth is Cody Hagan. Sixth is Sonny Hammond. Seventh is Jessica Shelton. Eighth is Chris Washer. Ninth is PJ Williams. 10th is Alex Pedro. 11th is Jesse King. 12th is Henrietta Fitzwater. 13th, Jecko Knight. 14th, Nick Pericles. 15th, Anthony McCrory. 16th is points leader Ryan Anderson Jr. 17th is Kendall Maynor. 18th is going to now go to David Rivera. 19th, Jordan Kolb. 20th, Ken Thero. 21st is now going to be Kyle Matthews. 22nd is Jesse Setti. 23rd is Michael Norman. 24th, Michael Walton. 25th, Austin Weiner. 26th, Cody Lamas. 27th, Justin Talampas. 28th, Alex Hawkins. 29th is Dylan Young. 30th is Ian Dutta. 31st is Seth Cole. 32nd, Zachary Fitzwater. 32nd now is going to go to Charles Sanford, and I think the caution is out. No, it's not, and actually we've got a new leader, Gabe Williams. So I guess we might as well not go through the rest, since now we're seeing a battle for the lead, as here comes Renzi down low to try to get the lead back. I thought I saw the yellow lights come on for a second, but I guess I was just seeing things. But Cassandra Renzi now goes back up to the lead, but Brandon Nichols is trying to come back, as he's right on the tail of Renzi, but he's got Dylan Thero and Sonny Hammond behind him, and next to him, Gabe Williams. Let's take a look at around the back of the pack, as Larry Hagan is running in last at the moment. Battle for 40th between Charles Jackson and Rue McIntyre, last week's winner. Not having that great of a run today, as you can tell. There's Chase Oliver, and Trent Dunham sporting an old school paint scheme for this race. The old school Bass Pro Shops Martin Truex style car. I do apologize I didn't have the right car for him on the starting grid, but it's no biggie. There's Eric Enrage, who is back there, and wow, Enrage, he has been flopping down the track. He started second, and now he's all the way back in 37th. There's Zachary Fitzwater in battle for 34th between Biggie Spencer and Matt McIntyre. McIntyre will get that spot, and there is Eric Burton, Ian Dutta, and Charles Sanford. And I think that was all the cars I didn't get to, trying to do the run through the field after what had happened. But Renzi still is the leader, but Brandon Nichols is right on her tail. And after this race, we head back to road course racing, as we race at the Napa Valley areas of Sonoma for the Infineon race, the Toyota Save Mart 350. That should be exciting. And then after that will be the Pepsi 400 at Daytona, as we return to the track we started the season. Let's take a look and see how the top 10 currently is running, as it's Cassandra Renzi the leader, second Brandon Nichols, third is Gabe Williams, fourth is Sonny Hammond battling next to his teammate, fifth is Dylan Thero, sixth is Jessica Sheldon, seventh Alex Pedro, 8th Jesse King, 9th Cody Hagan, 10th is Nick Pericles. Right now, a battle for third between Sonny Hammond and Gabe Williams, and Hammond's got the low line, and he's going to get by Gabe Williams for the third spot. Sonny Hammond He's probably been the one driver in the entire history of Walmart Cup Series who has been having bad luck finishes in the point standings. His best season by far was season 1, but he finished around in the top 30 in points. And then last season, if I can think, I believe he finished around dead last in points. This season, it's been kind of the same. He's been around that dead last area all season long. Well, now he ain't dead last this season since Charles Sanford is now in the series, and he'll have a lot of ground to make up. But right now, Brandon Nichols, he's going to attempt to use the low line, and now here he comes by for the lead again over Renzi. And I think he's going to clear him. We're seeing a lot of battling going on up here in this top 10. As we now head to the stripe, it will be halfway through. It will be 10 to go here at Pocono. And you gotta wonder if these cars will end up having to come down pit road this time in this race. That's always a concern at this track, is pit strategy. And I'm also surprised we have not had a caution come out all day long today, which is really, really surprising. As right now the battle for second starting to heat up as Renzi's gotten caught by Gabe Williams. And Gabe Williams, our Season 2 champion, didn't win a race last season, but won the championship and almost won the Rookie of the Season. Unfortunately, he missed out on that by, I believe, maybe a few points behind Mason Bromer. But he did end up winning the Drivers' Championship. But he didn't win a race, but this season he did win a race, although I don't recall where. Renzi's trying to get back to the lead, and Renzi, she's trying to go for her first career Walmart Cup Series points victory, as I believe she won back at the All-Star Open at Derek Motodome. But she hasn't won a points race all season. She's been in the top 5 practically since Daytona. As she has not really had that much bad luck, although in the past few races she has fallen from the points lead. But today she's having a great run of second right now, but she would love to try to get around that 12 car for that lead. And it's actually funny, Renzi and Nichols are the two best performing rookies so far this season. Renzi's been the dominating one in the points due to where she's been in the point standings overall, and Nichols for the wins that he has had. And these two have been battling for that Rookie of the Season honor. But right now, Brandon Nichols is starting to enjoy this a little bit as Renzi is getting caught again by Gabe Williams. And here comes two-time winner Alex Pedro. Yes, Alex Pedro may be a two-time winner this season, but he is the lowest driver in the point standings with a win. I believe he comes in this race, if I can think, I believe 32nd in points. But he does have a wild card spot at the moment for having those 2 wins. And since, while I'm talking about the chase for the championship, I've decided let's go ahead and talk about how this format is going to be. But first, Renzi tried to go low, but it didn't work right there. But anyways, as I was saying, the new format for the chase this season is going to be, the qualifications are going to be just like it was in Season 2. Top 10 in points and 2 wildcard spots and an LCQ winner. Depending on, and this is going to be the real twist, depending on how many drivers are going to be in the chase, whether it be 13 or 14 or even 15 to a degree, there will be a tournament format. After the first half, or actually make that after the first 3 races in the chase, the lowest 4 in points will be eliminated from contention. Actually, no, make that after the halfway point race, after race 5, the second half, like pretty much say like from 4th to, or no, excuse me, 7th to 14th. If it's 7th through 14th, those drivers will be eliminated. And the after race number 9 of the chase, 5th through 7th, or say something like that would happen, 5th through 7th will be eliminated. And then when we get to the last race at FTF, it's a battle of the top 4 drivers in points, and whoever finishes highest out of those drivers will win the championship. So it's going to be a mixture of Season 1, Season 2, and as pit stops are taking place, green flag pit stops, I kind of had a feeling we were going to see this as all the leaders have come down, but a lot of drivers are electing to stay out, and now Nick Pericles is the leader with 5 to go. This is going to be interesting to see who will be the leader now after these pit stops. As about half the drivers, a little over half the drivers came and pitted, and a little bit less than half elected to stay out. Well, let's see if Pericles and everybody else behind them will come down pit road this time by. This is going to be an interesting game changer for the race as to who will get to the lead this time. And there you see Pericles is coming down, so is Rivera, but Chris Washer and I believe that is Michael Walton, they are staying out again, but everybody else came down and pitted. Washer and Walton stay out another lap. I don't know if that's a good idea. They might end up running out of gas before they can even get to pit road. It all depends on what's going to happen. As I'm right now trying to look for Brandon Nichols and Renzi, and there they are around the 18th and 19th spots. As everybody else is in pit road. As we're looking at David Rivera, he's coming out of the pits now. And I think if he can get up to speed quick enough, he might be the new leader depending on what happens with Chris Washer and Michael Walton. And right now Rivera is higher up, and now Washer and Walton are in pit road now. So depending on how fast their stops are going to be, I don't know if they're going to be able to stay out up at the front. It depends on what they're going to go for. As it looks like Walton, he went with fuel only. And now what about Washer? He's going with fuel only. They're trying to go for strategy and try to keep their cars up at the front. This is interesting, but here comes David Rivera and Brandon Nichols, Cassandra Renzi, and everybody else. Will they be able to get to the 24 quick enough and get around him? Here comes Rivera. And I think he will. So now David Rivera is the leader, but here comes Brandon Nichols underneath of him. So now the lead is cycled back around to Brandon Nichols, but David Rivera, he's hanging on in there in the second spot, but now he's getting caught by Cassandra Renzi, and here she comes down low. The field has now gotten shooken up quite a bit. Let's take a look at how the top 10 is now. It's Nichols the leader, then Renzi, Rivera, make that Pericles, then Rivera, then Thero, Washer, Hammond, Walton, and Williams, and I believe Lamas. I think that is how the top 10 is. So the top 10 has gotten shaken up quite a bit after those pit stops, but it's 2 laps to go for one Brandon Nichols as he's going to try to go for his 3rd win of the season. But Cassandra Renzi is not going to give up that easily. She's one to try to get this win for herself. And she's actually going a little bit faster than Brandon Nichols, so she might have a faster car. But she's going to have to try to use her patience and time the hitting of her marks into these final corners here, as they're now in turn 3. Renzi, I believe she clearly has a faster car, so I think if she does time her moves right, she might get around Nichols. But here we go, white flag is out for Brandon Nichols. And Renzi did have a faster lap that time. She's about almost a quarter of a second behind, but here comes Pericles and Thero, and they're actually faster than Renzi. This is concerning for Renzi, but here she is right here in the second spot. Brandon Nichols doing a good job of holding off everybody. As long as Brandon Nichols doesn't make any mistakes, he might be able to win this race. Renzi's under attack from two Roush teammates, Nick Pericles and Dylan Thero right there. Sonny Hammond's going to end up fifth potentially. Here we go, coming off of turn number 3 for the last time. Coming to the checkered flag, Brandon Nichols wins his third race of the season and of his career, and he's going to get it here at Pocono. What a job by Brandon Nichols. Domination. Didn't lead every lap though, but he dominated this race. And it's all gonna pay off, and he's going to win here at Pocono. Let's take a look at the official results now, shall we? Brandon Nichols gets his third win of the season, and he's going to get it here at Pocono. Cassandra Renzi tried closing in the gap. She was only gaining a tenth every lap, but if she probably would have had one or two more laps, she might have gotten Brandon Nichols. But there just wasn't enough time. But she's going to come away with a solid second. Nick Pericles, great job in finishing third. Dylan Thero, two Roush cars finishing in the top 5. And then rounding out the top 5 is Sonny Hammond. Great run for that young driver. David Rivera, another Roush Couture finishing top 10. Solid 6th place. Gabe Williams comes away with 7th. Chris Washer tried using pit strategy. It didn't work out, but he's going to end up finishing 8th. Cody Lamas, our winner from, I believe, Spartan. Or no, we'll make that Lime Rock. He comes away with 9th, and PJ Williams rounds out the top 10. The rest of the top 20 was Michael Walden, Dylan Young, Alex Pedro, Jesse King, Ken Thero, Jesse Setti, Jecko Knight, Cody Hagan, Anthony McCrory, and Ryan Anderson Jr. The rest of the top 30 was Matt McIntyre, Jessica Shelton, Charles Jackson, Ian Dutta, Seth Cole, Jordan Culp, Rue McIntyre, Kendall Maynard, Austin Weiner, and Charles Sanford. The rest of the top 40 was Henrietta Fitzwater, Zachary Fitzwater, Trent Dunham, Michael Norman, Biggie Spencer, Kyle Matthews, Eric Enrage, Larry Hagan, Eric Burton, and Chase Oliver. And the last two cars to finish the race were Alex Hawkins and Justin Talampas. No cautions, no cars were lapped. Everybody finished clean and green. What a job by everybody. Thank you guys for checking out Pocono. The next race we head to will be at Sonoma. So until then, here are your results, rookie points, and regular points.
Drive fast cars. It don't matter the age, it don't matter the color, it don't matter the gender or who you love. If you got it in your heart, then go ahead and do it. If you have a gift, then please go ahead and use it. Cause I was feeling stupid while trying to do music. Thinking that they had no voice and that I was useless. But as I write this down, I can see what I mean. Nobody ever will stop me from achieving my dreams.